So in all actual reality, from what the prosecutors is saying, the state's attorney brought up the fact that what happened to his OG. Y'all know what happened to YFN Lucci OG when Young Thug and two more other people hopped out and stood in the middle of the street? Y'all know what happened. Y'all know that YFN Lucci kids was in that house when that happened, right? So I want y'all to really pay attention to how they brought up everything, even the song that he made after he did this. Like, I want y'all to really look at the severity of what's going on, because in all actual reality, we can open our eyes to the fact and understand that this is a revolving door.
We believe that Mr. Williams doesn't sing about random theoretical acts. He sings about gang acts that he's a part of or his gang participates in. Following that, Your Honor, in the same year, Act 96 on 8/8/19, Mr. Williams posted on Instagram I guess a post, if you will. It said, "YFN or YFN, if ain't like what you do for your mother and your kids, I would have," and that was tagging YFN Lucci.
And if you don't get out the hood when you get the bag, what's gonna happen? Is either you gonna get sent up or locked up, one or the other. And I know a lot of people sent back looking like, why did YFN Juju even comment and react to Young Thug? He reacted to him because Juju know everybody that played a role in what happened with Big Nut.
When my house got shot up, I was out of town though, man. I get a call, my mom don't say the house got shot. I was in, I want to say Tampa. If I wasn't in Tampa, I was in Orlando. No, I was in Tampa headed to Orlando. I ain't go to Orlando though because the house got shot up and we came back. So when we get back, everything was good though. She didn't get shot and everything was good. You see, they ain't shoot too many times the first time. You can tell they had to pull up right here. And they ain't even pull up in front of the house. They pull up like right here, and they was just shooting it like, you know, sideways behind the car in the street. They was in the street though shooting, cause that's where all the shell was. Like a week later, we was at the studio. I get the same call. My boy, boom, he had my phone. He ain't even really want to say it. He like the house there. He say it happened again. That's how he say we. I know he was talking about though. We hop out. We come over here. Jew was in here. My big brother Juju was in here. My baby mama. And my little girl and my mama and her friend. Both of them got shot though, my mama and her friend. Her room right here though. So that's how she got shot really. They was shooting, boom, boom. They was in the bed, both of them got hit in the leg. They good though, they walked right up out the hospital. I get in the hospital, she got I'm talking. My mom, that's why I love my mom though, she funny here. I walk in there, you know, I'm thinking crazy. I get in there, she laughing. She like, I'm like, what the hell, so funny? She like, you should have seen E-Ad, like her friend. She told his ass get out the bed, start crawling. Running, but he was going to get my little girl though, make sure she was alright though. But she just said it was funny though, he was screaming and shit. Yeah, that shit was funny here though.
I want y'all to look at the fact, and if y'all not familiar with who Juju is, hey, Juju is his brother, YFN Lucci's brother, man. Like, I want y'all to really look at this, man. Pay attention to this, man, because a lot of people not taking this serious, and they don't know the severity of this whole case. Dude, them, they sit back, they said once they got Nut up out the way, it was over with. Quavo even responded to the whole fact that they said the Rico, it was created in Houston. Like, y'all got to understand, J. Prince Jr. ties to YSL and the YFN Rico. Like, this sad, y'all.
Now, I'll go back and I'll get to that later, but this year, a YSL member attempted to Mr. Rayshawn Bennett, aka YFN Lucci, at the Fulton County Jail. That's on video as well, and we can tie that to the gang, and I'll get to that later. Your Honor, on Act 78 from 1/15/19, it's a video called Bad Boy. Now, understand at a point, Mr. Williams got into a beef, if you will, with another rapper by the name of Rayshawn Bennett, also known as YFN Lucci. At some point, Lucci's mother was shot at, and the song comes out with Bad Boy that says, let's see, you better watch the way you breathe around me, for that breath be your last, boy. Smith & Wesson 45 put a hole in his better not play with me. Stay with me. At his mommy, now he no longer mention me.
Duke the Jeweler is a prime example. They said that it was multiple people that followed him to that parking lot. Like, I want y'all to understand, Big Nut, R.I.P. Big Nut, man. He got sent up in the parking lot, man. Like, y'all got to look at, it's treacherous out there in Atlanta. People not looking at this and they taking this for granted. Like, at the end of the day, it could be you, it could be your cousin, your nephew. You got to really look at this, man, because the whole YSL looking at Gunna like he was the main one. He the one that kicked it off. He sparked it off. No. Anybody who told, they started it, like real talk. Now that man got 24 people testifying. You can lie to your lawyer, but you can't lie to the evidence that the judge and the DA is presenting from the state's attorney. I want y'all to understand the only reason why his people even turned against him is because he basically paid them to do this, told them to do that. But they baby mama was convincing them to go get the money. So it's like they had a choice to go out there and real life take care of that or not. So it's all gonna fall back on them at the end of the day because they still have to have court adjourned. Like, I want y'all to really look at this, man, because they said that they're going to be in separate courtrooms when the trial goes down. When certain situations come about, it's like you can't do certain things. You can't make the same connections that you was making on the outside. Like, you got to look at one thing. Gunna exposed everything when he gave that plea. When you give a plea, and it's 5, 6 of you guys, y'all gotta understand, when you tell on yourself, you tell on everybody, and you basically admit that they did what they did, even though they kept their mouth closed and stuck by the code. I want y'all to understand, a lot of people sitting out here looking at this like it ain't a revolving door, but it's a revolving door, and we gotta open our eyes to the fact of what's really going on. You can't feel sorry for nobody who went out there and did what they wanted to do, even if it was for money or not. They made the choice to do what they want to do, but now they couldn't take full accountability for what they did because the pressure got, you know how they say pressure busts pipes? That's what happened. At the end of the day, we know for a fact that judge asked them, are you admitting to these crimes? And they said, yeah. Do you know that the whole YSL label is basically under Young Thug and his people who basically founded the YSL company? Big Nut. Like, y'all gotta understand why, like, YSL, they really did what they did. They went and drilled that man, YFN Nut, man, and then everything came out that Young Thug was the one that put the bag on top. This could have been anybody that this happened to. And you see everybody that was right there on that stand trying to give a guilty plea to get out, don't know that they hurting themselves because at the end, they got to face and sit right there, even if it's on camera, even if it's on Skype, if they got Zoom call, anything. Like, you got to really understand, they still going to have to face Thug at the end. Free Thug, man. And I know a lot of people real life sit back and be like, okay, who's going to be the next one? If everybody get locked up, who else going to be out? Like, I want y'all to really pay attention to that because people not looking at his cousin and really taking heed to what's going on because his own brother told on him. Like, I want y'all to, if this ain't a wake-up call, like, you really got to be mindful of the things that you do in the company you keep because at these times, can't nobody save Thug but the lawyer. And I know for a fact that the people telling, they could tell all they want because they know for a fact what they did. So they basically telling on themselves at the end. Listen to what the eyewitness said, and I want y'all to pay attention to what they saying that's going on. If you heard what they said in court, the eighth dude, he was the main one. He was the one blowing, and he instantly told what happened when Buddy got locked up from YFN, and he told when Buddy got sent up from YSL. Ain't no telling how long this gonna keep going on, but we gonna get it while we got a chance to. Who's to think of y'all was gonna get booked for this? Y'all knew that the police was watching y'all. At the end of the day, we know this, and a lot of people can't really put their finger on it or really like confess to one thing. Why would you get yourself in that predicament when you knew what you was doing? At the end of the day, everybody can literally sit back and be like, y'all went out there and did that. Ain't nobody make y'all do that. Y'all wanted that money.
Well, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi originally, so down there it's called Cornwall Street, Shady Oaks, Christian Brotherhood.
And is your father in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
And other family members?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell this honorable court if Mr. Williams ever took you to where he was raised on Cleveland Avenue.
Yes, sir, he has.
And tell the court what you learned from that and what the purpose was.
Well, at the time, he took me there because I always expressed to him how at me being at such a young age and being able to achieve what I have and have the knowledge that I do have, that's why I started motivational speaking, because I want to inspire the youth and show them that anything is possible. Because you can look at somebody while they older and you say, oh, that's good, they doing it, but now you have an example that's your age and close to you in age that's showing you that it's possible. And Mr. Williams, he took me to where he was from. And he showed me where he came from. He showed me the property that he lived in. And he told me, he told me a saying, each one teach one, which is something that he lives by. And he has also helped instill in me that I live by now. Each one teach one. And he told me whatever knowledge you have to be able to spread it, because this is who you are trying to inspire and show them that they can become successful. So that is what he took me there for, and to show me how he was able to achieve what he has and where he comes from. And what I have to do if I want to motivate more young people like me.
YFN Lucci didn't think that this was gonna come about. He thought that they were gonna still be riding around. Remember, it was two dudes that was with YFN Lucci when they rolled down on Young Thug people. I want y'all to understand the exact thing they said. They said it was one dude who instantly got sent up, and YFN Lucci and his homie instantly threw the body out the car. Like, at the end of the day, I know a lot of people didn't want this to come about, but it was meant to happen because of one thing. They was moving sloppy at the end of the day. We know that by them even mentioning the stuff that happened with Young Thug BMs, I want y'all to know that it's all connected to the YSL Rico case. And I want y'all to know that all them people sat back and told on him from both sides, and all of them was drilling. Like, that's sad because y'all ain't got to do thugger like that. At the end of the day, y'all know for a fact, keep your mouth closed and, man, and just run with it. The status that they even got, they should have never even had nobody doing that, or they should have never even been out there on the phone not knowing that they already tapping it. Like, at the end of the day, YFN Lucci now was bogus for doing dude out the car. Even if he was sent up already, y'all could have dropped him off at the hospital or anything like it. We all know this. This is why this case is so severe, for one reason.
On the court, whether you have gone across our country talking to other students, people your age and younger at schools.
Yes, sir, I have. I've did different things like different school tours and doing motivational speeches for different organizations like the Boys and Girls Club and different things of that nature, and different youth centers, detention centers, of course, schools. Yes, sir, I have.
And has Mr. Williams put upon you the duty that you have to always be positive and try to get other people not to do crime?
Yes, sir, he has, and he has always motivated me in that goal and that mission. He has always showed me that path and always deterred me from anything that could be negative or affect me in a negative way. He always deterred me from that and showed me the right way and showed me a positive way to do anything that I have going on.
Has Mr. Williams taken you on tour with him, with your family's permission, taking your family?
Yes, sir, he has.
And if you can remember, what are some of the places that you went with Mr. Williams? Is risk of crime.
Man himself, but also he is helping more young men and young women have successful lives, such as myself, for example. And that's why my YSL stands for Young Successful Lives, because that is what he has done, and that is what he is now creating and showing and putting into the community.
Sir, has Mr. Williams' tutoring and guidance to you taken you out of poverty and your family?
Yes, sir, it has.
Has Mr. Williams ever asked you for a nickel?
No, sir, he has never asked for no profit or proceeds from anything that he has helped contribute with. Never.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, Mr. Edwards has a very short video that relates to Mr. Jackson. Okay, what's it supposed? I mean, he's testified here, so it's kind of like so. It'll explain background. I don't see the dangerousness in this, Mr. Steele. I mean, he certainly buttresses again what I have indicated earlier, which is he has significant ties. He's helped a number of people in the community. But I don't see the danger of the community that you promised me from the testimony. It's the opposite. I think that my promise is good. Mr. Jackson is saying that the entirety of Mr. Williams' desires is that people do not commit crime, do drugs, do violence, and to stay in school. That pinpoints the whole danger community is risk of crime, risk of committing crime. He's doing he's done that Mr. Williams through, and along with Mr. Jackson.
Y'all can't be out there trusting people. I don't get no care how much rank you got. I don't care if you a rapper, if you this, you that, you the plug, whatever, man. Y'all gotta be cautious because they gonna tell on you. The same people who you making run the store runs for you. You hear me? Like at the end of the day, all them people that's with YSL, they showing their face and they telling on Thug. They bogus. And number one, Gunna. Everybody got words for Gunna. And the reason they got words for Gunna, if you all don't know what happened in the past, Gunna was basically released under the YSL Rico indictment. Like, he has to come testify against Young Thug, the label owner. I want y'all to really pay attention to that, man, because Young Thug put him into position not to tell on nobody, and he turned on them. Like, at the end of the day, they slam slat all day. They snakes, man. His brother was the main one who should have realized. He should have told the lawyer everything he wanted to get done. And if he wanted Young Thug to even try to get a plea deal, he should have never came and said what he said. Your own brother. Hey, pay attention to it. Like, a lot of people don't think. Like, you have to be cautious of what you do because your brother was out there thugging it harder than him. Now Young Thug facing all these charges and all these counts by itself because they already took their plea. Some took 10, some took 3, some took 15. You feel me? You got to understand, it's a Rico case. And a lot of people don't want this to real life go down the way that it did, but you realize you can't stop what already has been done. Like, I already know that it's a lot of people who said, like, man, y'all better free Thug, man. Y'all, like, I want y'all to look at that because they gonna cook him for that. Like, y'all gotta really look at that. And YFN Lucci came up and said, like, it was 2 people that walked up. The third person, he was the getaway driver, and that was the one who knew everything that went on, even from when they planned it. He said, dude came up, he started blowing. Buh, 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 buh. Once he let off at least 5, Nut got hit with at least 3. I want y'all to understand, man, that's sad because it's all over some previous beef that YSL and YFN had. You got to understand, if Yak Gotti would have never stepped on top of that man's car, this would have never went down like that. And YFN Lucci would have never been coming out like this and basically telling y'all what really happened. I want y'all to look at one thing. When they threw Buddy up out that car after they did that drill, that was the end of it because they are bringing that up in court. And YFN Lucci, he has to admit to the things that he was arrested for and that he already pled guilty to. When the Rico case come about, a lot of people don't know. They bring up all of the stuff that you done did, even if you done got convicted for something and then beat the case. You see what I'm saying? Even if you got locked up and went to jail for a couple months and then you got out on probation or anything, in the Rico case, they bring up every single incident that you had, which was criminal, which could lead back and basically tie 1 and 2 together. Like, I want y'all to understand this. A lot of people was lost behind this. RIP to them guys, man. RIP Young Thug, baby mama, free Thugger, boy. At the end of the day, we know for a fact that in all conjunction, we can see for a fact that The people who told, all them 8 people was the people who was under Young Thug who had connections with YFN, all because they was from Georgia. I want y'all to really look at this, and this is something that people gonna sit back and be like, oh yeah, Gunna, he ain't no real hitter no more because of what he did. He got a plea deal because he couldn't take the pressure. Like, you gotta understand, you know how many people pressed that man while he was in there? A lot of YFN guys sat there and said, boy, we should do to you what Young Thug tried to do to YFN Lucci. Like, you gotta understand, it was 2 attempts on YFN Lucci since he been up in there. And people sit back and be like, no, no, he could have avoided that. No, he ain't got to go on no PC in order to avoid nobody from trying to get him. Charleston White even came out clean and said, Gunna, he not mad at Gunna for snitching. He mad at Gunna because he took all them people down with him. Like, you got to understand this, man. And Charleston White sat there and said, like, this the same stuff that Boosie went through. Like, y'all got to really look at this, man, because if you don't know, Duke the Jeweler was sent up at an untimely demise at one of Boosie Dice games. And this is why Boosie's name was brought up, because Charleston White said that if the Duke the Jeweler situation would have never happened, they would have never thought that they got away with it. And then next thing you know, Takeoff gets sent up. I want y'all to know that Quavo, he don't feel too good about that. Quavo sat there and said J. Prince Jr. was the main one in the mix. He was the main one that when Duke got sent up, and he was right there, and he could have avoided everything that happened with Takeoff. Migo Bands is one person who sat back and said, you know what? I ain't gonna even speak up because I don't even wanna throw no salt in the game. You feel me? Like, basically, he didn't wanna make a domino effect and have them people looking for that man. Like, I want y'all to really look at that, man, because they said, look him, from what he did, they said it was all a result of what the Migos bodyguard did, like his reaction, his basically what he did after Takeoff turned around. He started blowing. You can't be blowing that MobTies thinking MobTies ain't gonna blow back. I want y'all to really look at that, because people sit back and they saying like, J. Prince Jr. got away with this, he got away with that. Quavo said J. Prince Jr. ain't get away with nothing. Quavo said that only time would tell, and J. Prince Jr., he's sitting back. You feel me? He trying to get all his ducks in a row. I want y'all to really look at that, because a lot of people really can't put their finger on the evidence that's been presented to us. But in all actual reality, if you look at it, Lil Cam was the main one who told J. Prince Jr., do you want me to come up here and do that? Do you want me to come up here and protect you while I'm on house arrest? What if I get booked? Is you gonna bond me out? And J. Prince Jr. said, yeah, I'm gonna bond you out. Haven't I always bond you out every time you got locked up? You can only put on the front for so long. And